Ever wondered what it might be like to birth your baby surrounded by the gentle embrace of warm water? Today, we are diving deep into the world of water birth. From all the soothing benefits to the potential concerns. By the end of this video, you'll know if water birth is the right fit for you. Now, I've been through it myself, both the wanting the serenity of water birth for all three of my babies, encountering some of the common pitfalls, which I will teach you how to avoid, and only actually experiencing water birth with the very last one. So since then, I've had the privilege of guiding countless expecting moms on their journey witnessing both land and water births. But before we splash into all the details, in case you are new, I'm Marie with Birth Bliss, and I invite you to stick with me because I would love to help you rock your labor and love your birth. Okay, so let's start with the incredible benefits that water can provide. Getting into a tub of warm water during labor is a very good idea. It's been extensively researched and its safety is well accepted. In fact, laboring in water poses no extra risks to you or your baby, so there are only really wins with this one. The concerns that come up are all around actually giving birth in the water, and here there is some disagreement amongst medical professionals, so keep watching because I will guide you through all of that. Now, back to the benefits of hydrotherapy, aka water immersion during labor. Number one, water is natural pain relief. This is a biggie because labor pain is legendary. However, there are so many things like immersion in water that you can do to create more comfort and change the way that your mind and your body react to contractions. The next thing I want you to do is grab my guide to an easier birth. I've linked it down below and it'll teach you how to use a powerful hormone hack for an easier, healthier, smoother labor. Number two, water reduces anxiety. Fear and worry work against you in labor because the stress hormones cause muscles to tighten up and tense, making the opening of labor much more difficult. So lessening anxiety has a big impact, not just on how you feel, but also on how your labor unfolds. Number three, water increases relaxation. The soothing effect of warm water induces a state of relaxation, and that relaxation releases feel-good hormones, endorphins, which block pain. Number four, water enhances blood circulation. Immersing yourself in water promotes better circulation, and that's been linked to smoother and shorter labors. Number five, water gives you the freedom of movement. Being in a large tub lets you move around freely. You can easily change position and find what feels most comfortable for you. And that leads us to number six. Water equals better fetal positioning in the pelvis, meaning that your baby is in a better position for birth. When that happens, there's less chance of needing medical interventions. So you definitely want to use water during labor, even if it's just for a short period of time in your labor or just the tub in your home. One important caveat is that if you get into the tub early, you can slow down. So if you're less than 3 centimeters, labor could slow down, but there's an easy fix. Either you can just wait to get into the tub until labor is more established, or you can get in early and just pay attention. If you notice that those contractions are spacing out, just get out of the water, walk around for a little bit until your labor picks up again. Then you can go back in the water. Other tricky bit with water is that hospitals are still more likely to offer drugs rather than water immersion. In a Listening to Mothers survey, only 6% of moms used water immersion while 30% used OPAIDs. Moms in labor were more commonly offered pain medication than a soak in the tub, even though both are effective for pain relief. Also, it's tricky to get into a tub if you've got a bunch of wires attached to you. So if you plan on getting an epidural, use the water immersion earlier in your labor, because once that epidural line is in, you won't be able to go into the water. Now, water immersion is generally underused, and many hospitals lack the birthing pools or the large bathtubs that make being in water during labor easier. So if you love the idea of laboring in water, and I hope I've convinced you because it's really awesome, if you want this, you need to research the birthing options in your area and find out which ones encourage the use of water in labor, which ones have tubs. One of the moms I recently worked with opted for a hospital 45 minutes further away because that hospital offered water birth and had large triangle tubs in each birthing room. So I encourage you to do some research and find out what's available in your local area. Now, what about actually having a baby that is born in the water? Let's talk about that. First, be prepared. This is where things can get logistically tricky. If you are birthing at the hospital, does your hospital even allow water birth? Do they have large tubs or birthing pools? And if you're birthing at home, do you need to source your own tub, or does your midwife provide one? And who's setting that tub up? How will you fill it? Does your water heater even have enough hot water to fill it? And where are you putting it? All that water weighs a lot, and you want to make sure that the floor is structurally able to hold that much weight. So I want you to make sure you stick around to the end, because I'm going to give you some tips for water birth pool setup, including where to put the pool. Now, there are all these practical kinds of questions that need to be sorted out ahead of time. In my second labor, we had the tub all set up, but we ran out of hot water. The midwife decided that the water, while super soothing to me, would be too cold for baby. So at the very end, I got out of the tub and had a land birth. Another mom I worked with was all set up for a home water birth, but then that day her toddler put the faucet to hose attachment into his little toy toolbox, and then they couldn't find it, and they couldn't fill the birth pool without it. So she labored in the bathtub instead and gave birth on her couch. So this is what I mean where water birth takes some extra effort and planning. Now, in addition to all the awesome benefits of being immersed in water during labor, actually giving birth in the water also carries some good benefits. So let's take a look at those. Number 1, reduced risk of deep tears and episiotomies. The warm water helps to soften your perineum, reducing the likelihood of severe tears, known as 3rd or 4th degree tears, and lessens the need for an episiotomy. This can lead to a more comfortable postpartum recovery. Number 2, more satisfaction. Many moms express feeling a profound sense of empowerment and satisfaction during water birth. In one study, 72% of people who had a water birth stated that they would certainly choose that method of giving birth again, while only 9% of those who had land births said that they would choose that method again. Number 3, a gentle transition for baby. The warmth of water mimics the womb environment, making that journey from womb to world less abrupt. The scientific evidence has shown us that babies born in water have very similar health outcomes as those born on land. However, it's unclear from the research if there are any other specific health benefits for newborns born in water. Now, at the beginning, I mentioned that there's some debate amongst birth professionals as to the safety of water birth. All of the different associations for midwives and nurse midwives generally endorse water birth as a safe choice for healthy, low-risk women. But when we talk about OBs, they're more split. The Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists in the United Kingdom supports water birth as a healthy option, but the American Congress of Obstetricians and Gynecologists recommends that until more research is done, birth occur on land and not in the water. There has been a fair amount of research, but we could definitely use more. Here's what the research has taught us so far. First of all, it's generally safe for low-risk women, but it's best if we avoid or prevent some of the risks, and that's what makes it safer. So what are the risks that we can look to avoid? Let's take a look. The first risk is the risk of overheating. Your care provider should monitor the water temperature so that it doesn't rise above normal body temperature. The second risk is the risk of infection. Birth pools must be easy to disinfect, and tubs should be filled closer to the time of birth, and there should be regular testing of the hospital water supply and hoses. Next, there's the risk of baby breathing in water. When babies are born in water, the reflex to breathe is only triggered once their face touches the air. So once a baby is born, they should be brought up and out of the water, and care should be taken so the baby does not go back under the water after taking that first breath. Next, the risk of the umbilical cord tearing. If the cord is short and baby is brought out of the water too quickly, the cord could tear. Now, your cord providers should monitor the length of the cord as baby is being guided gently out of the water. Now, once those risks are managed, it can be a really safe decision. However, I do advocate informed decision making, and water birth is best suited to healthy low-risk pregnancy. So I want you to make sure that you talk this over with your healthcare professional. Just note that you may get different answers based on if your care provider is a midwife or an obstetrician and based on your location. All right, summary time before we get to those 3 bonus tips for birth pool setup. Okay, water immersion and water birth summary. The available research all agrees that water birth is a safe option for low-risk, healthy birthing women, and that there are loads of benefits to water immersion during labor. There's pain relief, less anxiety, more relaxation, better fetal positioning, shorter labors, and more ease of movement. So lots of good stuff's there. Click the thumbs up button if you like the sound of all of that. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell if you want more birth and pregnancy goodness. Okay. Bonus tip time, birth pool setup. All right, mama-to-be. Now, if you're seriously considering the wonderful world of water birth, let's talk about setting up that birth pool. Preparation here is key, and these bonus tips will ensure you're ready. So first, choose the right pool in the right spot. Talk to your midwife about the birth pool rentals in your local area. Opt for something that is spacious. It could be inflatable or rigid, but make sure that it is actually designed for water birth. Use a tub liner. This is really important for infection control and for easier cleanup afterwards. Place a waterproof mat or tarp under the tub to protect the floor. Clear the area around the birth pool so that there is easy access and movement for your care providers from all sides. Now, as I promised, where to put that tub? You want to put the tub next to a load-bearing wall. This will more easily allow your home to handle the weight of all that water. Consider placing a thick rug under the tub. That's going to add extra cushioning and insulation so that the water remains warm longer. I really recommend doing a test run. This is the common pitfall. When you don't do a test run, you're not sure if it's all going to work. And if you do a test run, you'll know that the temperature on your water heater is good, that you have all the supplies, all those faucet attachments, everything you need to both fill and empty the pool. And it gives you a chance to decide on who's going to be in charge of the pool and monitoring and doing setup and monitoring the temperature when the time comes. Because temperature is so important. We want it close to body temperature, and a floating thermometer can be such a handy tool to adjust that temperature as needed. I hope that you found all of this super helpful. Remember, if you're serious about creating the best birth possible, grab my free guide to an easier birth so I can walk you through how to get hormones on your side for a healthier, calmer, and easier birthing. You definitely want to be using this hormone hack. And you can grab the guide in the description box down below. And if you like this video, hit that like button, share it, and be sure to subscribe. And watch this video next, where I'll teach you 3 steps to build rockstar confidence for your birth.